The coming ZR1 will be a milestone breaker, expected to be better than any Corvette that has ever rode the streets. But then there's the coming Outback, tougher, rougher, denser, and more off-road, capable in every detail than any Outback before it. However, if we compare each of this next-gen vehicles from the two big success brands, Subaru and Chevrolet, which car will emerge the most lethargic? Overall, well, stay with us to the very end of this video if you want to find that out, as we'll consider the top 4 features these vehicles will feature with deep analytical eyes. Let's dive in. So before now, some of you that have been watching this channel will know that we have covered a lot about the coming Outback and ZR1, but what you don't know is what they would actually look like if they became rivals and were compared, right? With that being said, you might be thinking, it isn't entirely fair to be comparing a high-performance car with an SUV, right? Well, I thought the same before this changed my mind. I love cars, and experimenting with details is something I'm crazy about. So I went right up to this AI called Perplexity, which by the way is supposed to be better than ChatGPT, as it is actually the online version of it in a way, and asked it the same question. Well, here is what it said.
It is not entirely fair to compare the 2025 C8 ZR1 Corvette and the 2025 Subaru Outback, as they are two very different types of vehicles.
Well, what was I expecting? But the point of focus is on the last sentence it made, that this question itself depends on how you see it. It is subjective. So if that's the case, I'm gonna go ahead with my research to find this answer for myself since I wanted to, and what I learned is what I'll be sharing with you in the next minutes. Let's begin with the exterior. The Outback is expected to be a truer adventure than it has ever been with the 2024 model. This is arguably so because its strong construction and purposeful design include a robust front fascia, headlamps, grille, fog lights, and body cladding, all of which contribute to a broader, more grounded stance. Aerodynamics have also been enhanced, which increases economy and stability, while the high ground clearance provides the driver with a commanding perspective of the road, something all drivers will enjoy. The wilderness trim, on the other hand, takes things even farther, with a more rugged design that shouts efficiency from all angles, as well as more ground clearance to go on bigger excursions on harsher terrains. However, guess what? The Outback will be completely rebuilt from the ground up in 2025. That's correct. The exterior of this adventure king will change. There will be improvements, and we expect them to appear in the grille and maybe the headlight region, keeping the wagon's wagon heritage. This will very certainly make the new Outback better suited to off-roading than the current model years. Now let's look into our rival, the ZR1. What will it feature for 2025? Well, we can deduce a bit from the renderings Peter Chilelli of Fast Pixels shared on the online community Corvette forum. He pointed out a pass-through frunk, the new air divider, longer and elongated splitter, fresh wheels, and the bespoke badging, which might all be getting new designs or already new additions themselves. This left some wondering if there really will be a redesign of the trunk that incorporates some of the Z06 GT3R's design cues into this new car. This is because the GT3R was probably the most recent C8 model to undergo extensive testing in a wind tunnel, so it's probable that the results of those tests may be incorporated into further upgrades via tried and true track to street technology transfer. But all these are just expectations and might not actually be so, since as we all know, Chevrolet are famous for their camouflage in concealing new car designs. So everything at this point is just an educated guess, and the only thing that we are sure might be really so is the new front design, which looks like it depresses a bit, much like what we see on Ferraris. However, every detail about the 2025 Outback will be so, since after all, it is getting a redesign from the ground up. So for exterior, the Outback takes the point home. Now moving on, we have the performance. It's logical to believe that the C8 Corvette ZR1, which is anticipated to achieve a tremendous output of well over 800 horsepower, will lift the bar even higher given that the C7 Corvette ZR1 boasts over 750 horsepower. This proves that Chevrolet is going to put a lot of money into the upcoming C8s, and if you just want more power, this Corvette will be ideal for you. However, that incredible amount of horsepower may not even be something you need. This is because the LT6 V8, which powers the current ZR1, has enough power already, but Chevy looks to introduce a new powertrain which will take performance to even greater heights, the LT7 V8. This could make the ZR1 more formidable and deliver accordingly on the racetrack when placed in a duel. Actually, it should rip to 60 miles per hour in under 2.5 seconds, which would be fastest lap times any Corvette has achieved yet. However, for the rival, the 2024 Outback has the same engine choices as earlier Outbacks, both mated to an automatic CVT and standard all-wheel drive. The XD and Wilderness badges all come with a 2.4-liter turbocharged flat-4 engine that produces 260 horsepower and 270 pound-feet of torque, while the entry-level 2.5-liter flat-4 produces 182 horsepower and 176 pound-feet of torque. These engines are both rather capable, but a hybrid Outback might exist in 2025. Subaru may take use of the chance to completely restructure its vehicle to employ its new 1.8-liter direct-injection turbocharged boxer engine to create the next generation of hybrids, as it's unquestionably the right time to do it. If If this occurs, performance will be quadrupled, much like with most hybrid vehicles, while the engine will have to work less hard. But the problem with this, though, is that just like the Outback, the new ZR1 will also be a hybrid, which naturally translates to even more power. So the Outback doesn't really stand a chance here, it's obvious. And that settles it. The ZR1 bags the point. Next, we have the interior and infotainments. Unlike the base model's two 7.0-inch touchscreens, other Outback variants have an 11.6-inch touchscreen that is vertically oriented. This huge screen has physical buttons for temperature adjustment, quick reaction times, rotating volume and tuning knobs, and easy-to-use icons. While Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility are included as standard, other features like navigation, a Wi-Fi hotspot, and wireless device charging are optional. A Harman Kardon audio system with 12 speakers and 576 watts is also included for customers who select the limited or touring trim levels. However, it's anticipated that the new Outback will come with extra standard features on the base trims and even more premium features than the present Outback. However, since there is limited information, it is difficult to know exactly how the interior of the Outback could look like in terms of styling and stitching. Now for the rival, we know that naturally the new Vette will remain a two-seat sports vehicle, leaving the task of including second rows to the impending Corvette SUV. The leather dashboard and interior seats are anticipated to continue the tradition. Also included are Fox leather accents, expertly sewn headliners, genuine metal trim, luxurious carpeting, and a large reversible gauge display. It is anticipated that the infotainment system would be simple to use, compatible with both Apple and Android devices, and quick to respond to any orders you may give it. Well, the decision on which car gets the point here will be tricky. So once again, I'll fall back to the suggestion Perplexity gave at the beginning of this video. Be subjective. So that's exactly where I'll be. And with that said, if you want more advanced infotainments, then the Outback is the car you want to have. On the other hand, if you prefer a more luxurious interior and styling, then the ZR1 is your car. But for the infotainment's aspect, I sometimes think to myself that less and simple is sometimes better than advanced. So subjectively, the ZR1 bags another point for me. If you have your own conclusions, feel free to share them in the comments. For now, we move on to the price. Without much details, I think this one is probably easy enough to decipher. The expected starting price for the 2025 ZR1 Corvette at dealerships is roughly $150,000. However, until it comes closer to the on-sale date, we can only make an educated estimation. It may be sold with more extreme packages like the Z07 track style package, which could hike the price. On the other hand, pricing for the 2024 Outback ranges from $28,895 to $42,795 for the top trim. However, for 2025, anticipate the Outback to beat that number, though Subaru has yet to reveal official pricing. It is clear the difference between these two vehicles. The Outback's price, even as a hybrid, will not come close to the ZR1, and that is a good thing for the SUV, which means it bags a point for being the cheaper option. Let's face it, it always just has to boil down to how much we have and are willing to spend. So I tried, and seeing the better vehicle just isn't working. But believe me, I am not giving up, as I would look to analyze more data to find me that winner. And to see one of such data I might actually check next, watch this video over here to see 7 extra points the ZR1 could rack up.